So many children ask me why I carry this stuffed monkey around with me, and especially because it's not a chimpanzee.
Jane Morris Goodall, formerly Baroness Jane van Lawick-Goodall, was an English zoologist, primatologist, and anthropologist. Born April the 3rd, 1934, Hampstead, London, United Kingdom. Died October the 1st, 2025, age 91 years, Los Angeles, California, United States. Children, Hugo Eric Louis Van Lawick. Spouse, Derek Bryceson, M. 1975 1980 Hugo Van Lawick M. Pot 1974 Parents Van Morris Goodall, Mortimer Morris Goodall, Mortimer Morris Goodall. She was considered the world's foremost expert on chimpanzees, having studied the social and family interactions of wild chimpanzees for over 60 years. Goodall first went to Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania to observe its chimpanzees in 1960. Goodall was the founder of the Jane Goodall Institute and the Roots and Shoots program and had worked extensively on conservation and animal welfare issues. She was on the board of the Non-Human Rights Project from 2022 until her death in 2025. 6 in April 2002, she was named a United Nations Messenger of Peace. Goodall was an honorary member of the World Future Council. Early life, Valerie Jane Morris Goodall was born in April 1934 in Hampstead, London, to businessman Mortimer Herbert Maury Goodall 1907 and Margaret Myfanway Joseph 1906 2000, a novelist from Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, who wrote under the name Van Morris Goodall. After the family moved to Bournemouth, Goodall attended Upland School, an independent school in nearby Poole. When she was a child, Goodall's father gave her a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee as an alternative to a teddy bear. Goodall had said her fondness for it sparked her early love of animals, commenting, "My mother's friends were horrified by this toy, thinking it would frighten me and give me nightmares." Jubilee still sits on Goodall's dresser in London, Africa. Goodall had always been drawn to animals in Africa, which brought her to the farm of a friend in the White Highlands in the colony and protectorate of Kenya in 1957. From there, she obtained work as a secretary. And acting on her friend's advice, she telephoned Louis Leakey, the Kenyan archaeologist and paleontologist, with no other thought than to make an appointment to discuss animals. Leakey, believing that the study of existing great apes could provide indications of the behavior of early hominids, was looking for a chimpanzee researcher, though he kept the idea to himself. Instead, he proposed that Goodall work for him as a secretary. After obtaining approval from his co-researcher and wife, British paleoanthropologist Mary Leakey, Louis sent Goodall to Olduvai Gorge in Tanganyika, later part of Tanzania, where he laid out his plans. In 1958, Leakey sent Goodall to London to study primate behavior with Osman Hill and primate anatomy with John Napier. Leakey raised funds, and on the 14th of July 1960, Goodall went to Gombe Stream National Park, becoming the first of what would come to be called the primates. She was accompanied by her mother, whose presence was necessary to satisfy the requirements of David Anstey, chief warden, who was concerned for their safety. Goodall credits her mother with encouraging her to pursue a career in primatology, a male-dominated field at the time. Goodall has said that women were not accepted in the field when she started her research in the late 1950s. As of 2019, the field of primatology is made up almost evenly of men and women, in part thanks to the trailblazing work of Goodall and her encouragement of young women to join the field. Leakey arranged funding, and in 1962 he sent Goodall, who had no degree, to the University of Cambridge. She was the 8th person to be allowed to study for a PhD at Cambridge without first having obtained a bachelor's degree. She attended Newnham College, Cambridge, where she received her Bachelor of Arts degree in Natural Sciences by 1964. Later that year, she enrolled at the newly established Darwin College, Cambridge, to pursue a Doctor of Philosophy degree in ethology. Her thesis was completed in 1966 under the supervision of Robert Hind on the behavior of free-living chimpanzees, detailing her first 5 years of study at the Gombe Reserve. On the 19th of June 2006, the Open University of Tanzania awarded her an honorary Doctor of Science degree, Opinions and Written Works, Bigfoot. Goodall was known to have supported the possibility that undiscovered species of primates may still exist, including cryptids such as Sasquatch, Yeren, and other types of Bigfoot. She talked about this possibility in various interviews and debates. In 2012, when the Huffington Post asked her about it, Goodall replied, "I'm fascinated and would actually love them to exist," adding, "Of course. It's strange that there has never been a single authentic hide or hair of the Bigfoot, but I've read all the accounts." Lego. On the 3rd of March 2022, in celebration of Women's History Month and International Women's Day, the Lego Group issued set number 40,530, a Jane Goodall tribute, depicting a Goodall minifigure and 3 chimpanzees in an African forest scene. Music. Stevie Nicks' song Jane, written in 1990, celebrates Goodall's life and work. It is the last track on Nicks' 1994 Street Angel album. Television. The Simpsons parodied Goodall in the 2001 episode Simpson Safari, in which the scientist-researcher Dr. Joan Bushwell was written as an indirect parody of her .123. She voiced herself on the episode Gorillas on the Mast in 2019. Goodall also voiced herself in the Wild Thornberrys episode The Trouble with Darwin, where she is portrayed as visiting a chimpanzee sanctuary in Tanzania. The episode was later adapted into a children's book by Kiki Thorpe. Doll in 2020-2022, Metal. Released a Barbie-themed Goodall doll from recycled plastic and field attire with binoculars and a notebook. According to Mattel, the doll was made in recognition of Goodall's decades of dedication, ground-breaking research, and heroic achievements as conservationist, animal behavior expert, and activist, personal life and death. Goodall was married twice. On the 28th of March 1964, she married a Dutch nobleman, wildlife photographer, Baron Hugo van Lawick-Goodall, at Chelsea Old Church, London, and became known during their marriage as Baroness Jane van Lawick-Goodall. The couple had a son. They divorced in 1974. The following year, she married Derek Bryceson, a member of Tanzania's parliament and the director of that country's national parks. Bryceson died of cancer in October 1980, 108, owing to his position in the Tanzanian government as head of the country's national park system. Bryceson could protect Goodall's research project and implement an embargo on tourism at Gombe. Goodall stated that dogs were her favorite animal. She had prosopagnosia, which made it difficult to recognize familiar faces. She lived in Bournemouth. Goodall died of natural causes in Los Angeles, California, on the 1st of October 2025 at the age of 91, while on a speaking tour in the United States. Mireya Meyer, the Director of Exploration and Science Communication at Florida International University, wrote that Goodall retained a charm, open-mindedness, optimism, and wide-eyed wonder that are more typical of children. I know this because I have been fortunate to spend time with her and to share insights from my own scientific career. To the public, she was a world-renowned scientist and icon. To me, she was Jane, my inspiring mentor and friend.